The United States has carried out a large-scale strike against Venezuela, claiming its leader, Nicolás Maduro, and his wife were captured and flown out of the country. 2:14 da manhã, Caracas. The lights go out across multiple districts at the same moment. Cell service drops. Internet traffic collapses. There is no emergency alert, no warning on television, no official message. Just sudden darkness and confusion. Seconds later, people hear it. Deep, distant explosions echo across the city. Not one blast, several, spaced apart, controlled. Enough to shake windows, but not enough to explain what is happening. Traffic cameras stop updating. Government buildings switch to backup power. Flights divert away from the capital. Within minutes, security forces realize this is not a technical failure and not an internal crisis. This is an external operation unfolding in real time. Then Washington speaks first. The message is short and shocking. The United States claims it has launched a large-scale operation and removed Venezuela's president from the country. No details, no images, no confirmation from Caracas. For Venezuela, this is not political pressure. It is a direct strike at the center of power. For the rest of the world, one question suddenly matters more than any other. Is this claim true? Or is something even bigger about to happen? What happened in Venezuela matters because this was not just noise in the night. It was pressure applied at the center of power. When disruptions hit Caracas, they hit the heart of the government, the security system, and the decision-making chain all at once. This was not a border incident and not a warning near the coast. This was activity inside the capital itself. That choice changes everything. Any operation that reaches this deep forces leaders to react fast, often without full information. That is when mistakes happen. From a strategic point of view, the message is clear. The United States is signaling that distance, borders, and routine defenses may no longer protect political leadership. This is not about territory. It is about control, leverage, and speed. For people inside the system, this moment is deeply personal. Staff members are suddenly cut off from clear orders. Security units must protect leaders, buildings, and civilians at the same time. Every unanswered call increases fear and confusion. This is how pressure breaks structures from the inside, without long battles or visible damage. At the same time, the claim itself creates risk. If it is true, it sets a dangerous precedent. If it is false, it invites escalation. Either way, silence becomes impossible. Every side is forced to respond, and every response carries consequences. This is why the world is watching so closely. One misstep here could turn political confrontation into open conflict. And now the question shifts from what happened to what comes next. If you believe the United States was sending a calculated message, press 1. If you think this move risks spiraling out of control, press 9 and subscribe to stay with us as this story continues. The first response does not begin with explosions. It begins with confusion. Inside security centers across Caracas, technicians notice the problem before commanders do. Data feeds slow down. Then several screens go black at once. A network attempts to reset and fails again. Someone says it quietly at first, then louder. This is not normal. Phones ring, but calls do not connect. Messages are sent and never return. Operators refresh their displays again and again, watching icons disappear in real time. No one can see the full picture. Each room only sees fragments, and none of the fragments fully match. Security units are ordered to hold position. Minutes later, they are told to move. Then they are told to wait again. Orders shift because information keeps changing. A chain of command that usually runs smoothly is now broken by delays, gaps, and uncertainty. Outside, the city remains tense and unusually quiet. Traffic is thin. Sirens are rare. Most people stay indoors, watching television channels repeat the same short statements with no new details. The silence stretches longer than anyone expects, and that silence feels heavy. Then, the claim from Washington spreads faster than any internal message inside Venezuela. The United States says the operation is complete. It says the president, Nicolás Maduro, has been removed from the country. No images are shown. No location is named. No proof is offered. Inside government buildings, reactions split instantly. Some officials dismiss the claim as psychological pressure meant to destabilize the system. Others treat it as a worst-case scenario that demands immediate preparation. Emergency meetings are called, but not everyone arrives. Doors close, guards double, access points are locked down. What makes this moment even more unstable is what does not happen next. There is no clear counterstatement, no appearance from the president, no direct proof that he is safe or actively in control. That absence fuels speculation inside the system and fear outside it. Security planners now face a brutal question with no clean answer. Do they prepare for recovery, or do they prepare for retaliation? Acting too fast risks escalation. Acting too slow risks collapse. Every decision is made with partial information, and every delay makes the situation harder to contain. This is the most dangerous phase of any confrontation. No shots are fired, but decisions are being made. No movement is visible, but forces are on edge. For the first time, the pressure is no longer theoretical. It is personal, it is immediate, and it is unfolding faster than anyone can fully understand. As the hours pass, the situation does not calm down. It tightens. Inside Venezuela, the lack of clear confirmation becomes a problem of its own. Each government office receives different fragments of information. None of them are complete. None of them are fully trusted. Decisions are made, then quietly revised, then questioned again. In moments like this, escalation does not require explosions. It only requires uncertainty. Security forces remain deployed but restrained. No one wants to be the first to overreact. At the same time, no one wants to be caught unprepared. Every checkpoint, every patrol, every closed gate is a signal that the country is bracing for something more. Internationally, attention locks in. Diplomatic lines light up. Emergency calls are placed between capitals. Allies ask for clarification. Rivals warn against rash moves. The situation is discussed in careful language, but the concern underneath is clear. If the claim is true, the balance has shifted. If it is not, the risk of miscalculation has just multiplied. Inside command rooms, fatigue begins to show. Crews have been on alert since the first disruptions. Eyes stay fixed on screens that offer no new answers. In close confrontations, even small delays matter. A late report, a missed call, a misunderstood order. Any of these can change the outcome. What makes escalation especially dangerous now is the silence. No new strikes, no confirmation, no visible movement, just waiting. And waiting is when pressure builds the fastest. For decision makers on both sides, this is the narrowest point. Move too early, and you may trigger something irreversible. Move too late, and you may lose control of the narrative, or worse, the situation itself. The confrontation has entered a phase where action is no longer loud. It is calculated, it is restrained, and it is far more dangerous than the opening moments, because everyone involved knows that the next move will define what this crisis becomes. The twist in this crisis is not a new explosion or a sudden attack. It is the absence of proof. As the hours pass, no images appear. No independent confirmation follows. No third party steps forward to verify the claim. What spreads instead is uncertainty. And uncertainty changes behavior faster than force. Inside Venezuela, officials begin to realize that this situation is no longer just about what happened. It is about what people believe happened. If the claim is true, the government must respond to a historic breach. If it is false, failing to counter it decisively could still cause lasting damage. This is where pressure becomes psychological. Every rumor moves faster than facts. Every delay creates space for doubt. Even loyal institutions begin to ask quiet questions they never asked before. Outside the country, analysts and governments notice the same thing. A confrontation built on claims rather than images is harder to contain. There is nothing concrete to react to, yet doing nothing feels dangerous. This is the kind of moment where misreading intent can matter more than firepower. What no one can see clearly is whether this uncertainty is accidental or deliberate. Was the lack of detail a limitation, or was it the strategy itself? Keeping everyone guessing may be the point. For now, the crisis hangs in balance, suspended between confirmation and denial, and that balance is unstable. One statement, one image, or one mistake could tilt it sharply in either direction. If you think this uncertainty was a calculated move designed to pressure Venezuela without open war, press 1. If you believe this lack of clarity risks pushing both sides toward a dangerous escalation, press 9 and subscribe to follow what happens next. The climax of this crisis does not arrive with fire or sirens. It arrives with silence. By now, both sides understand exactly what is at stake. Every movement is measured. Every sentence is reviewed before it is spoken. No one wants to trigger the next phase by accident, but no one wants to appear weak or uncertain either. Inside Venezuela, security forces remain on full alert. Shifts rotate, but the tension does not ease. Command rooms stay lit through the night. Officers speak in short, controlled sentences. Orders are repeated twice to avoid mistakes. In moments like this, discipline matters more than speed. Across the region, military planners and intelligence teams watch for signals that never come. No new disruptions are reported. No follow-up strikes are announced. Airspace remains quiet. That absence of action feels intentional. In confrontations like this, restraint is not calm. It is pressure being held tightly in place. Then comes the most dangerous phase, waiting. Waiting for confirmation that may never arrive. Waiting for proof that could change everything. Without clear evidence, leaders are forced to make decisions based on belief rather than certainty. Respond too aggressively, and a false claim could turn into real conflict. Respond too slowly, and authority may quietly slip away. Behind closed doors, conversations grow shorter, options narrow. Advisors warn about escalation, but also about loss of control. This is the narrowest point of the confrontation, where one statement or one move could end restraint entirely. In this suspended moment, even routine movements feel risky. A delayed briefing, a misread signal, or a poorly timed statement could push the balance in the wrong direction. Everyone involved understands that restraint is fragile, and once it breaks, there may be no way to slow what follows. Silence stretches, heavy and unstable. Pressure builds without release. The question is no longer what happened in the night. The question is who will break the silence first, and what price that decision will carry. If you believe this restraint shows careful control from both sides, press 1. If you think this silence is only building toward a sudden and dangerous move, press 9 and subscribe so you do not miss what comes next. When the immediate tension settles, what remains is not clarity, but impact. Across Venezuela, daily life slowly resumes, but nothing feels normal. Government offices reopen under heavier security. Public statements remain cautious and limited. No clear confirmation is provided, and no full denial convinces everyone. The uncertainty stays in place, and that uncertainty leaves a lasting mark. Internationally, the ripple spreads quickly. Allies reassess long-held assumptions. Rivals quietly reconsider where red lines truly stand. What matters most is not whether the claim was fully proven, but that it was made publicly and not immediately disproven. In global politics, perception often moves faster than facts. This moment reshapes how power is measured, not by how much territory can be held, but by how quickly pressure can reach leadership. It shows that modern confrontation does not always require long campaigns or visible destruction. Sometimes, disruption alone is enough to force reaction, hesitation, and internal strain. For military planners, the lesson is direct. Speed, ambiguity, and timing can now shape outcomes as much as traditional force. For political leaders, the warning is sharper. Silence, even temporary, can create vulnerability. Control of the narrative becomes as critical as control of forces on the ground. What happened here may not be remembered for a confirmed capture or a single operation. It may be remembered as a test of how far claims can go before facts catch up. A test of how systems react when certainty disappears and decisions must be made in the dark. And most importantly, it may be remembered as a beginning, not an end. Because once a moment like this occurs, future confrontations are rarely smaller. They tend to be faster, more tense, and less forgiving. The next crisis may not pause in silence. It may move before anyone has time to hesitate or verify. For audiences watching from the outside, this moment forces a harder question. If claims alone can shift behavior, trigger alerts, and freeze decision-making, then future conflicts may begin long before the first strike. The real battlefield may be belief itself, and the next confrontation may be decided before anyone realizes it has already started. That is the real aftermath, not what was confirmed, but what has now become possible.